This is the Pan-African Bliss Show every Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. The Pan-African Bliss Show.
Hey, till I'm gone. You know I can never tell a lie, and I don't. Hey, hoes kissing in the yard and in the phone. Hey, I'm on crazy shit tonight till I'm gone. Hey, if it's on, and that shit be popping, I can't wait to put that shit up in a song. Hey, I be going so hard in a book. Want the smoke, I shoot that fire in a bomb. Hey. If it's on, then it's on me. I said no more parties, now I'm sitting at a party. Hey, but what the fuck, I'm finna party. I'm a party. All women look like Cardi, but shit, my name Barbara, so I'm Barbie. Barbie. Hey, you tryna holla, but I'm waiting for the truth. You know I can never let her free. So what the vodka tryna do? Don't do it. Tryna fight, I gotta fuck, I'm tryna use. Yeah, tryna live, shit is great out. Yeah, tryna sell a nigga dope and smoking vapor. Yeah, motherfucker got the cash right here. Okay, bitch right here. I got these hoes right here. Oh shit, that's out here. Where the money at, dude? I got these hoes this time and she ain't looking at you. Hey, she ain't looking at you. I took a picture, I ain't tryna at you. No. You know I can never tell a lie, and I don't. Hoes kissing in the yard. I'm on crazy shit tonight till I'm gone. And it's on. And that shit be popping, I can't wait to put that shit up in the song. I be going so hard, it ain't a point. Want the smoke, I set that fire.
Yeah. Tunamsana hede Juma Nyaru ala saiti Johnny Mo. Mina penda blunt, misi penda ni mapong. Ninangia haga yake yeso longi thong. Nimingia form niko matire, niko on. Dilingen kesoba vile nitoka Inkaloma. Dilingen a dim decent after a while, shows a hold out. Ispenda niko bonga ulicho kipa mbuti ni Trojan. Iyo kelele mtani, tumesifuta nuli mboka. Kama utafuti mboka, misho manili machuja around me. Silver saying a dunga, no the stone is finally coming. Ninapenda kama dura,
all these niggas always copying.
Bora pesa na tuma boys and cheap the best.
You know I can never tell a lie, and I don't. Hey, hoes kissing in the yard and in the phone.
Yeah.
I'm on crazy shit tonight till I'm gone.
Yeah.
If it's on, then it's on.
And that shit be popping, I can't wait to put that shit up in my song. Hey, yeah, she like me, yeah, she like that shit long. Hey, want to smoke, I'll run it for a blunt. Hey, if it's on, then it's on. Cause you know, I can never tell a lie. Don't. Always bad for the back to the front. Hey, I'm going crazy all night, I'm on yo. If it's on, then it's on.
Yes, karibuni sana family to yet another beautiful episode of the Pan-African Bliss right here on the Black of Fire Network Media for the 21st century. Good afternoon to everyone. 11 minutes past 1 p.m. in it, and I hope you guys are doing amazing. The 17th of the month of the year, of the 5th month of the year 2023, and I hope it is finding you in positive health, in good vibrations, and everything that you deserve in this amazing universe. Karibuni sana once again. My name is Joby. To the first time listeners and viewers, shout out to everyone on the radio station. I hope you guys are getting me loud and clear. And remember to keep your comments coming via the live stream. That is in case you have our app. But of course, if you are tuned in on the radio station, you do have our application. Remember to go on the live stream. And of course, I'm right there to check on the comments that are coming in regarding what we shall be talking about. For those on Facebook, karibuni sana. Click the like button as you join us. And in case it is your first time, kindly consider following us or rather subscribing. And you can join us officially by downloading the app, rather going to our website that is on the www.blackoutfirenetwork.com and create your own profile and get to join us officially. Every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we have the Africa Today show on the network, but on Fridays specifically, we do have all the shows on the network. So kindly consider joining us so that you cannot be able to miss one of these occasions, rather one of these amazing episodes that we bring unto you. Karibuni sana once again, Silverstone and the Butros in it, and of course that is if it's on, it's on. I also believe so actually. If it's on, it's on. Whatever that means, or however you get it. If it's on, it's on. And that is how we're starting the show up today. Today we shall be having an amazing discussion, and my focus shall be going to Namibia and a little bit into Uganda. We shall be relating with what we were talking about, a little bit of it yesterday on the Rhythm Scoop show. And this was actually to do with one of the things I mentioned is when we had Museveni literally agreeing to sign the anti-gay bill. We saw him being threatened a little bit, being shaken a little bit, and he ended up thinking twice about it. And yet it is, I don't know if it has been set clear, but Uganda is literally, I can say they want to agree to homosexuality, but Namibia has said yes to it. So this is where our main focus shall be going into, and of course a couple of things going on in the same country, and I'll be taking you also back a little bit onto what is going on in the rest of the African countries, including Nigeria, and a couple more also right here in the 254 itself, because we're expecting King Charles to land in Kenya in a couple of in a couple of days. They have not really said specifically when. I'll be reading the article for you. And of course, they're here to strengthen the relationship of Commonwealth, which we know this is all a lie. So we shall be talking all about that. Keep it tuned till the end of the show. In case you're tuning in for the first time, once again, Karibu Sana. My name is Joby, and I hope you are doing amazing. This is Shinsia with Side Chick Song, and I hope you get to enjoy this. I remember yesterday, shout out to Joel Mosquito, he said, literally, Kid has the worst Jamaican accent. And I'd say yes, it is the worst we can ever hear right here on the Blackout Fire Network. But don't worry, I got you. This is Shinsia, and of course the name of the jam is Side Chicken. Shout out to George Guy and Samuel, wherever they are, and to all the Jamaicans people in the building.
The body make me happy, do me now holy. This is the original Side Chick song. Me up in my feelings, see your next girl, man. Me know it wrong, but it never plan. Normally me a wife, me no whole side bitch position.
Yes, and of course, remember after this, we'll be coming back with our quote of the day. So in case you do have your own personal quote of the day to keep me motivated, I'm here. I'd love to come and encourage a lady, encourage a baby girl right here.
If I mean cheat with, when you want the wife, you don't know who else in my friend. Oh, when you're on the side, you will muscle everything. Him rain me highly, spoil me, treat me like a wifey. I'm respect, non-text when him beside me. The only thing I from you know I can private, and if I sit on the come happy about it.
Not the type of sergeant can't stop the bell.
If we sit them together, me and my feelings, the same and I lay them now. These are the original Side Chick song. Be up in my feelings, see your next girl, man. Me know it wrong, but me never plan. Normally me a wife, me no whole side bitch position. This is not my style, and not for me plan. Be up in my feelings, see your next girl, man. Me know it wrong, but me never plan. Normally me a wife. And money's always gonna cheat by benefiting. Give me anything you want, so me not gonna trust him.
I don't know how fast these lyrics are. A man is always gonna cheat right to benefit him. But for me, my quote of the day is that you will never always be motivated. So you must learn always to be disciplined. So remember, I'll not motivate you every day, but discipline is the most important thing. I say Daddy Harrison in the building, Karibu Sana. Hope you're doing amazing, and to the rest of the family joining and tuning in on the Pan-African Bliss Karibuni Sana. This is the media from the 21st century, the Blackout Fire Network radio station. And of course, you can join us officially once again on our website in case it is your first time on the www.blackoutfirenetwork.com. And of course, join in, create your own profile, and get to enjoy more of these amazing vibes.
Can get hurt, we ever apart. It make me happy, so me I go make it work. Me comfortable, even though me on a bird. Special occasions are hard. If me get to see me after the birthday. If we see them together, me and my feelings, we see me my living. The original Side Chick song. Me up in my feelings, see your next girl, man. Me know it wrong, but it never plan. Normally me a wife, me no whole side bitch position. This is not my style, and not for me time. man. Sleep in my feelings for your next girl, man. But no, it wrong, but it never plan. Normally, me a wife. You don't know who the boy I touch before. Come and know you love me, I mean, know you love she. I'm young with the flow, and this type of peace make it flow naturally. No, I mean, I can't get hurt. It make me happy. Someday I gonna make it work. For now,
Yes, that is Shinsia all the way from Jamaica, and she happens to be a mulatto. Actually, I think she's a mixture of a Jamaican and a Filipino, if I'm not wrong. Not really sure, but yeah, she ends up to. She's literally, I think, a mulatto. That is how we see it, and that's how we view it. But though she says she comes from Jamaica, and personally, I do love her songs, mad, big way. But karibuni sana to the rest of the family tuning in. For the first time listeners, karibuni sana. And of course, I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. To the rest of the family, as you join, click the like button. Like we say, it doesn't cost you a dime. It's free of charge. I'm not asking you to donate. I'm not asking you to give me money for you to click that like button. But yes, thank you so much for streaming. I see Danny, karibu sana. Good morning to you too. You're saying good morning for me, good afternoon for the people in the motherland. Yes, good morning and to you too. And of course, it is afternoon right here, and people are having their lunch over here. And I guess you can hear from the background a little bit of some spoons and plates. You know, it's all about that time. But I see you also saying that here's a quote. And no one will love you as much as you love yourself. Black people could learn from that, from that one. Exactly. No one will love you as much as you love yourself. And I think if I am to literally get a little bit deeper into that, I'd say black people, we have been given a lot of self-hate where we love white people more than we love ourselves, which is what we were talking about yesterday on the Africa Today show. We're talking about the hair products, how do you allow, still it's not making sense to me. How do you allow an Asian to touch your hair? What does an Asian, a Chinese, a Korean, what do they have to do literally with they have no goddamn clue. I wouldn't, even if without being educated. Nah, I need my fellow African touching my scalp. I want my fellow African giving me that hairstyle, giving me that shape of my head, and not some other crew. I don't know what to mention, but yeah, it is crazy. So yes, I think your quote would reflect directly to that, where black people, we tend to have the love for our own enemies more than ourselves. And this is why you see why Africa it is, or rather most of us globally, black people, most of us have failed, because we've prioritized the other people. And by the time they're done with us, destroying us and making us do what they want, it is by the time we're waking up, you're like, wow, I've wasted like a couple years of my life dwelling on something that, someone who never really loved me or cared about me. But I hope you stay motivated with that quote from Danny. And in case you also have a quote of the day, keep it coming. And thank you so much, Danny Harrison, for sharing that. Rarely, most people do not share the quotes of the day here, but thank you so much. 21 minutes past 1 p.m. And of course, I'm getting straight to the matters of the day. Like I said, my focus shall be going to Namibia, but I don't want to start with that. I want to start with what is happening in my own country. And just a few weeks ago, I think it was last weekend, we had the coronation of King Charles III, which occurred in the UK. And I did personally talk about it. And we spoke about also African people, where it is so sad to see that people like the artists like, not just Tiwa Savage, you see people right now like Burna Boy, Wizkid, most of them right now are being literally called to go perform in these big ceremonies, which is funded and which is literally the white supremacy type of shit to destroy the rest of the world and everything. But how does this literally help us as African people? Because if you look at people like right now, Burna Boy, we're gonna be seeing him right now. The perfect example I gave, he's gonna be dressing up like how is it called? ASAP Rocky. We're gonna be seeing them dressing in different ways, going out of their way, out of their own African culture to please someone, because they're now being ruled. They're living under someone's rule. They're not independent. And it is so sad, actually, if you speak of independency as African people, we're not independent in anything. Even when it comes to our own talent, these people have still maneuvered to capture us and our minds, thinking by the time we are sponsored, rather if you want to become a celebrity, you want to be someone in this society, you want your music to be heard, you must literally pass through them. And I totally disagree. I believe literally Nigeria could be one of the biggest, which is literally one of the most populated country in Africa, and it could set up a big example since their music is on the top. The Nigerian music is on the top. That is no lie. The Afrobeat is selling worldwide, and there's no cap about that. It is literally, people have accepted the Nigerian music, literally African music, but literally Afro music is really, really, really selling a lot. And personally, I always feel like Nigeria, and I've said this before, Nigeria could be a best country to set up a music industry, African. You know, the way we have the Universal, I don't know what, these types of brands that literally promote and help other artists, like we saw with Michael Jackson. He was signed under Universal, right? The Universal, I don't know, the Universal something. The Universal something. I don't know, it's called Universal, if I'm not wrong. You can correct me, the full term of it. But we don't need all this. Why don't you build our own? Why can't we promote our own? Why can't we just start from the scratch, take the risk and see how it comes out? Why can't we be the first people to literally change, make a change when it comes to our own people and our own community, our own talents, our own hospitality, our own education? We must look at the white people. And this is why we're still not independent. Because if you look at King Charles, definitely I'm certain is coming to Kenya. God knows the next minute is going to be in Nigeria. The next minute is going to be in Ghana. And there are also the countries that they didn't manage to colonize. But what they're saying is that King Charles is set to visit Kenya. That is the newly crowned King Charles III of the United Kingdom. Will be visiting Kenya later this year as part of the Crown's effort to strengthen ties with Commonwealth nations around the world. Really, really, we question ourselves about that. Really, of course, you know, these are all lies. So let's not get deeper. They're also saying that this will be King Charles' fifth visit to Kenya and his first official trip to the country since his coronation at Westminster Abbey in London 2 weeks ago. And Kenya even sent its soldiers to the UK to take part in joint of parade ahead of the coronation. Now, you soldiers, this goes to this also. These people are working for this government. Why don't you question yourself why you always moved like children? You don't understand the African history, do you? You don't. Do you understand your country's history? Leave alone now Africa, because this takes me back to still. This is why I said if you really follow up most of the things I talk about, one thing I'm going to start with during the week is always going to end up lining up with everything I talk about during the end of the week. This takes me back to what I was talking about yesterday. The independence of African people, the unity of African people. We're so miseducated to the point where most of these people are set in this government organization. All they do is follow rules, like the puppets themselves. Or we demand your soldiers to come here and work and and parade for us, and that happens immediately. Nobody in that crowd wakes up and questions, why do we do this? Nobody seeks knowledge apart from what we said and meant to believe. Nobody questions anything. It is all okay. It is all smooth, and that's how we live. Till when? Till when? And then you have these puppets talking nonsense to you every single time. Oh, we need to get rid of the borders. You can't get rid of the borders while you're still having you're still inviting our own enemies, our own colonizers in the country, in the continent. How can you deal with that? You can't even make your own decisions. All you can do is yap. Talk about it, but you can't dance to the beat. They can't dance to the beat. Nobody is willing to do that. Nobody is willing to take a risk. And again, it takes me back to what I've learned for the couple 2 years. Death is an illusion. But we've grown up with fear of death as African people to the point where we feel like, oh, if I take a risk, then I'm going to die then. So what? It feels so good to know that literally death is an illusion. I'm willing to do anything so that I can keep. I want to come back. I'm not yet ready to hit the other dimension, because I want to see how far my people can go. I want to see the wake up call of my people. And I was just telling Katie and Shumani the other day, if I am to ever come back, I wish I can keep the school part. Like, why you have to be raised as a baby and everything, then you have to go to school. I wish I can really skip that part and now get to learn to the adulthood point where I can make my own goddamn decisions. I don't want to be born in another goofy family, being lied to, religion and all that. I want to come back all knowing everything that I know right now at this point and add more knowledge to it. Because this is crazy. This making me super mad, relating with what Uhuru said a couple years ago, but he couldn't apply on it. Because if he really wanted to, his father, when he was being born, his father was approached by Julius Nyerere and told, hey, bro, we need to get rid of these borders. We need to become one people. Your country, my country speaks one language, Swahili. Okay? What about if we get to unite now the rest of the people? The generation grows up knowing Swahili, not this tribal bullshit we have right here. I wonder what Rwandese speak. Kid, can you let me know what Rwandese speak? Do they speak English or Swahili? But I do believe some Rwandese know Swahili. A little bit of it. A little bit of it. English, okay. But most of them, they're those who know Swahili. Like the Kwetu Pazuri song. It's Swahili, right? Yeah, they do. I think they do Swahili or English, or both. It's a question in here, but yeah, I think they do Swahili or English, either both or maybe Swahili. I don't know which is their national language. I was just asking recently, I don't know if this is true, but I'm going to ask Maria during our show about Uganda. Which national language do they speak? Because I was asking a friend of mine who's in Uganda, and he told me they speak English most of the times in Uganda, not Swahili. And I'm like, wow. But most of those who know Swahili, right, is like, yeah, but it's not really that taken serious. And that's another problem. That is another problem. It is crazy. Now you claim you want to break the borders. You're telling your people the importance of breaking the borders. You're telling your people the importance of unity. That is Professor Lumumba. You talk all about that, but still you're the same people telling our children, telling our sisters and brothers to take a day off from school and go and literally, I don't know, practice for a whole goddamn 2 weeks because someone is coming in the country. You know how stupid it sounds? Because who are we praising? Who is it? Who is this? Why don't you teach people the real education? This aside, I don't ever want to get deeper into this, in this King Charles bullshit, okay? Because I've seen that he's saying that the king is said to have often spoken fondly to the warmth of the hospitality he received from Kenyan people during his visits, of course, because we've been forced to go practice for 2 weeks for you, okay? So definitely for you, it is hospitality. We have that. And they say, however, his visit to Kenya will be met with mixed emotions, while diplomatic relations between London and Nairobi will be strengthened, and there are still grievances against the UK amongst locals. And the UK wants the government to make amends for British imperialism, suppression of the Mau Mau rebellion, and land grievance. I don't want to even get deeper into that. We just saw recently, as she called, the late wife of Dedan Kimathi. She passed 2 weeks ago. Her funeral was held at the States. Okay, her funeral was held at the White House. That is the Rutos. That is at the States of the government. But after this, we're not gonna hear these people being spoken about. Perfect example is just his husband. This woman has died demanding and asking for the remains of her husband from the same government, the same people coming to visit our country. But none of them have responded. That aside, we have those who are still alive. They're asking the president to sign the money that was given to them, the compensation that was given to them over what they were made to go through. But no, Ruto has literally already pocketed all this money and is not willing to talk about it. You guys keep on suffering. That is what do they say? They say that is ancient stories. You guys forget about it. Even to me, even for me, being literate with the humanity I have, I can't forget what my dad did to me just because that is ancient story. That is what my grandma was trying to tell me. Oh, you need to forget that is ancient stories. What are you talking about? You torture my feelings, you hurt me, and then I'm supposed to just act like that is okay? Okay, that is all gone. That is just people just wake up and forget. No compensation, no speaking, no nothing. No. It's a lie. It is a lie. And I'm speaking about the African education. It takes me back to it is South Africa. With how advanced South Africa is, with how developed this country is, still having seen that the black people are at the bottom. It is so sad to see with the development this country has, unlike the other countries in Africa, apart from Rwanda so far, we still have children struggling to read. Children are struggling to read by the age of 10. And I'm like, how is this possible? But I take me back to me being young. I reflect with myself being young. What tribalism did to me. What being changed in different schools and getting different curriculums did to me. It affected me so bad. Because if I am to tell you I was to finish school when I was 16 or 15, it's because of being made to repeat 2 classes. One, because I was taken to a school where there's mother tongue. I don't know no mother tongue. I know Swahili. Then I'm given these all goddamn exams with Kikamba in it. And I'm like, what am I reading? I don't understand anything. And I became the last person in the class. And I remember till to date, people were laughing at me. People laughed at me so bad. We were 35 children in a class. I was number 35. Out of 35 students, I was the last one. And I had to repeat. And by repeating, I was forced to literally now know mother tongue by force, because if I fail exams, I'm going to be beaten back at home by people who are literally not my parents. And then you expect this to be able for African children to be able to read by the age of 10. If I'm taken to school by the age of 5 and you change me to multiple schools, or every time you're taking me to different schools, and each school has its own rules, or I don't know, some sort of setup that has been set by this system, how is reading supposed to be so easy for me? Because that is how I was affected as a young child, and I relate with these children so bad, the South Africans. And I'm certain the media is lying with the capacity they're giving us, because they're saying 8 out of 10, which is a big number. 8 out of 10 South African schools children struggle to read by the age of 10. And this was a study done by the international study. The same people who brought this education, that the same people to give us the reports of the effects we're facing as African people because of a system they set up on purpose. They're saying that the South African ranked out of 57 countries assembled in the progress in the international reading literacy study, and which tested the reading ability of 400,000 students globally in 2021. Illiteracy among South African children rose from 78%, that was in 2016, to 81%. Illiteracy, they say. Who brought this illiteracy? Because if you look at most of the African people, if you speak of study not even being able to read, most of us are so illiterate. Who brought the illiteracy? Who made African people illiterate? It's just like we say today, if I go explain people, I don't even want to go deeper to the Rothschild, Rockefellers, or anything. If I am to just go with the simple media information given outside there, and I try to analyze it the way we do here to a common mwananchi outside there, they'll be like, huh? What are you saying? So who left the illiteracy? Did we just wake up one day and we told ourselves African people want to be illiterate? Or was this something? Was this forced to us? Because it was forced. We can't be the first people who are to ever read and write in this universe. We taught these crackers how to read and write and wash their ass. And then we are the illiterate people right now. It doesn't make sense at all. It's not adding up at all. Make that. I was not perfect at mathematics, but hey, it's not mathematicing. There's such a term. It's not adding up. You be the most intelligent people thousands of years ago, but now you're considered the most illiterate people in the world. And it's not just South Africans, because when they say this, they mean Africans. We are illiterate. They're not just talking to one majority African country. The same system of education set up in South Africa, where people do not have any history of who Nelson Mandela is, who do not have history of Jomo Kenyatta, who he is the same system set up right here. Nobody knows what Idi Amin did. Nobody knows about Julius Nyerere's good. Nobody knows about literally the Pan-Africanists we really had. And the coons we had. The sellouts of the country. The betrayer of the country. Nobody talks about them. It's all lies. And then I'm illiterate because of your education, one. That is why I am illiterate. You made me illiterate. You forced this education, this knowledge, so that I can be illiterate. That is what you wanted. But it's not for long, because we're waking up and I'm letting you know what is happening. So they're saying that the country's education minister blamed the results on school closure always on the COVID-19. The pandemic is always the cause of every effect right now. Every effect that is going on right now in Africa, it's either going back to the Russia and Ukraine war, or it's either coming back to the pandemic. That is where our problems are revolving right now. It's either the Russia and Ukraine invasion that is affecting African agriculture, that is affecting people not to be able to eat, that is affecting the climate, God knows. And then we have wildfires. It's the Ukraine and Russia invasion still to date, or in the pandemic. How amazing. Sounds so crazy. Super insane. But before I continue, let me read the comments. I see Kit, you're saying exactly 100%. Karibu sana first. You're saying 100%. Build your own. Exactly. We can't keep on. You can't, man. You can't. I love Burna Boy, Wizkid, and everything. Personally, I feel like Burna Boy, Wizkid, Davido, these African artists on the map, they would have been the best people to educate, because these people have massive influence all over the world. And if you speak of young people, including us, oh God, yes, we listen to their music every single day. Now you can imagine you having that massive of influence. You can't tell me, Joby, I see you have potential. I see you really got a voice. And I can coach your voice, because what even happened to coaching voices? Today people wake up and they're calling Sammy Boy, Unajita Msanii, with some fucked up voice. Yeah? You wake up one day, you're just singing auto-tune and you're now an artist. You're being celebrated. And I can barely even hear where your voice is coming from. Is it coming from the throat or the stomach? What are you singing? Are you a rapper or who are you? I see most of our artists right here in the 254. People just want a trend for the bullshit. You just want to be known. And the worst thing is you being known and not making even no income. And this is what we see today. People in the industry collapsing every single day because of lack of independence, not even knowing what you want. Someone take controls of your... If you really have good talent, most of them end up being taken advantage of. Someone realizes that you got talent, but you're sleeping. Let me become your manager. Let me manage you. By the time they're managing you, they're pocketing all your money. You'll be wearing Crocs, going to interview as they wear sharpshooters and safari shoes, safari boots. They have the best haircut, but you look like someone who has not taken a shower in over 100 years. We need to stand up on both our feet. We can't keep on doing this. I was just saying, if you just look at Burna Boy, if he came approached the young people and told them, I can do this and this, create this organization and say that now as African people want to have our own awards, we want to see the effort people are putting in, not just people waking up and trending and then, oh, he got the MTV awards, I don't know, the what awards, and all that nonsense. Wake up. And Keith also saying exactly 100%, Joby. Those are the people saying you better not take down those borders. Exactly. Because if you try now, look at what Ruto was talking about during the weekend and what he's doing right now, because I'm certain if King Charles is coming here, there's even he doesn't even need approval of the president, because these are part of the people who are controlling the world. These are part of the people who have held Africa on their both arms like this. They know completely who is poor, where they live, who's rich, how they live, where is water, where is sewage, where is the hospital, and where there isn't. They know it all. So yeah, they won't allow us to break no borders. And that's why I said it's going to be impossible unless we deal with the smallest situations we have within the country, like tribalism. Educate your people the purposes of unity. The rest is going to be easy to know. Unity first. Nothing else. Unity first. That is what I call for. Just within the countries. Now leave alone the continent. Within the countries first. Break the tribes. Break the religion. Now come to religion. Come to education. Reset everything. But you just want to wake up and yap your mouth. I don't know. Just crazy. You're also saying that they speak French and Rwandese. Okay. So how am I going to understand them if they speak French and Rwandese? But I bet they do know English, right? Because I've seen most of the Rwandese do also talk English. And I've also seen a couple who know Swahili. Not really many, but a few. I don't know if it's Rwandese or Burundi, but Rwandese. There are those few who know Swahili. But hey, how am I going to understand those people if they speak French and Rwandese? You see the purpose of unity now? The purpose of one common language in Africa? What is French? What does French have to do with us as African people? Why do I need to speak French while I'm African? Do you know the funny thing? Even when I was in college, I remember we had options of taking classes of French and the most studied in hospitality is always French. I think that I think it is Italian and French. Those mostly that are taught in hospitality, but French. We were given the option of studying this, but I said no. I'm not taking that class. I want to go to a hotel where I'm going to be speaking English or Swahili. Not a language I don't even know what it means. And I have to bite my tongue all over for me to be able to pronounce whatever it is they're saying. What does French have to do with African people? And you'll always see people bragging. I've seen this growing up, man. And I used to think it's a flex. But it is not a flex. It is not, literally, it is not a flex. But people made it look like it's a flex. When you're speaking French, hey, it's a big deal. Hey, you hear someone freaking French, Chinese. It is a big deal. But you come to think about it, what is the flex about? You're flexing about your enemy's language, your colony's language, your colonizer's language. What is the flex about? Oh my God. I wish you could see African people how they behave when you ask them, do you know French? Oh yeah. And they're trying to give you examples. Bonjour, bonjour. Comment ça va? I don't know. And all that nonsense. Whatever it is. And I see Keith, you're saying Uganda speaks English and Swahili and mother tongue. Yeah. I know for English, I know of Swahili. I know of English and Swahili, but I think Swahili is not that much. But they do speak English, Swahili, and mother tongue, because I see them even posting status in mother tongue. That is Maria and the friend I have over there in Uganda. Most of the status they post is in Uganda. And I'm like, how am I supposed to read this? I'm in your contact list. Like, hey, hello, I'm in Kenya. Can I get some Swahili translation? What are you posting? You know, what am I viewing? Why are you in my contact so that I can't understand what you're posting? You know, it doesn't make sense. And Kitty also saying that that is Danny. Sorry, you're saying that well, like Black people in America have been given a bad education system. It is same system in Africa, exactly. And the Germanic style education system, it doesn't work for us. Exactly. And this is what I'm also asking. What is it that black people always feel it's a flex studying Chinese, French, Italian? Because when you come back to Africa, excuse me, whether if you are born right here, you went to, I don't know, to France to study French, and then you come back here, bro, you're gonna still be speaking Swahili. Funny, let me blow your mind. You still come back here, you're African. You're not French. You're still African. Oh my God. That's the thing we don't even, you think learning another language makes you different from us. Or they're gonna think, you're special because now you know their language. Oh no. These people are setting it right here and straight and clear. Like we saw yesterday, so one of the articles saying Nigerians are going to be denied visas to go to the US. I don't know if Katie reported on it, but yeah, they're telling you we don't need you right here. You need to stay in your country, in your continent, and deal with your own shit. And if you can't deal with your own shit, they're coming to wipe you because you don't want to wake up. Another genocide. You are the white man. You are that white woman. Another genocide. How many more? Want to keep still sleeping? Keith is saying that the pandemic, yeah, was only 2 years, and how can that have anything to do with your literacy? Your literacy with your literally level? Exactly. It has nothing to do with it. This is something they have been doing for years. Because answer me, how is it that we are the first people to educate, to teach? These people are calling us illiterate because this information is coming from the international studies. What are the international studies? Because we're in Africa, international, okay? The same people left the same system of education, forced us because we're being forced. We've been forced to study fake history. We've been forced to study fake history. They have forced religion on us. It's a must you study religion. It's a must you study fake science. Right now, God knows they're going to be telling children what we learned. We learned photosynthesis. We learned photosynthesis, the importance of it. Now they're going to be telling you cutting trees is very good. Everything is changing. They're telling you having trees in your environment is dangerous. We need to chop them off. We need to get rid of carbon. We need to do this and this and this. And then you call me illiterate. As an African person, I ain't illiterate because I know the importance of trees. So you're the illiterate one here. You're the illiterate one here. And you need to be educated again. Kitty is saying that they are not going to do that, Joby. They are not allowed to influence African people for their benefit, and they will keep them like Bob Marley. Exactly. And we see that every day. We were just talking about the journalists, the activists, journalists, the bloggers we have who speak the truth. You have to live wondering about your life every single day because you can't talk about the government. You can't talk about this fucked up system. You can't talk about how your life is being affected as a common mwananchi. You can't tell what the government is doing affecting economy. You can't. If you happen to know the truth, you are a threat to the society. But the same people are telling you the unity of African people is important. How is it while you are killing us? How do you unite people by getting rid of their lives? Who am I supposed to unite with the moment you're literally done wiping the whole African community or society? It's you left. And then the next minute, the white people are going to be invading because they are already done with what they really wanted to do. By your help. It's not making any goddamn sense. None. Kitty also saying that because they were French colony, Joby. Oh, okay. Or Rwanda, yeah. But still, come on. Am I speaking like a British? Is my English British? I mean, yes, we have the English, the British education and everything. But am I putting that British accent and everything? Shout out to Maria. Shout know to Maria, do I have to speak the British whatever they do talk to be recognized as being, that I was colonized by these people? Why not Swahili? I hope Kagame is really, I remember this was something that they were literally talking about in 2021, December, November there. I remember we had this agreement that was made by South Africa. We had, I think, Mali, if I'm not wrong. No, we had South Africa and a couple of Eastern African countries, which were literally talking about the importance of introducing Swahili in schools and making it compulsory, which is very important. And personally, I say the best country where they can get the best teachers of Swahili, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, because these people's Swahili is fluent. I won't tell you come to Kenya. As you're gonna be talking, then you hear someone mention what you guys mention on the chat all the time. The slang words are too much, and our slang words, most of them are filthy. They are not good words. They are not good words at all. We're full of sheng. We can't construct sentences like when you go. That's why you see, like for us, when you go to Tanzania, it's quite a challenge. You have to keep up with the straight Swahili and everything. Of course, we do understand each other and all, but for them, it's gonna be it is always a little bit hard to understand me if I'm not speaking their way. You get me? It is always tough if I'm not speaking like, that's fluent Swahili that I'm supposed to speak. If I go with a Sheng word, they're like, wasema nini? What are you saying? For them, they'll say wasema nini. For us, you're saying like sema. Very rude. Very, very rude. Like our words as well are just brutal. Like they just come out brutal. Like I don't know how to explain it, but I would not. I'd advise them to take teachers from Tanzania to be able to educate most of these African countries Swahili language. If it has to be made compulsory in schools, that is what I'd say. And you're also saying that the same way you speak English, Joby. Yeah, but I don't do. I mean, okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I get your point. I get your point. Daniel's saying that the French were behind the whole Hotel Rwanda situation. Of course they were, and they never agree. And you're also saying that because of the sulfate, Joby Africans believe everyone is better than them, and that is where you're wrong. This is why you see your hair is fucked up, your skin is fucked up because of trying different lotions. Personally, I always question people who have acne. Sorry to say, but if I am to personally, I remember there was a time my skin was messed up when I was very young, and I was so mad at my skin. Like I was so mad. You see my forehead, it used to be full of black spots, and it was because of irritation of lotion. And when I came to discover this, I was like, never ever again am I messing up with lotions on my face, ever again on my face. No, I don't do lotions on my face. We do that mafuta I told you, that oil I told you. We do mafuta, a oil called mafuta ya ng'ombe, the cow fat. That is what we do. That is what we use. Most of us, that is what we use. It's very cheap, and it's actually good. No damages, no irritation. It is used even in terms of healing a lot of irritation on the skin. If you have like some jewelry irritation, if you have like your lips, if you want to soften your lips and everything, don't use the lipsticks and everything, just use that simple oil and you're good to go. Don't need a lot of these chemicals created. I always question myself with acne people. Where do they get acne? Because when you're born fine. Before you get to the adolescence period, I bet you're fine as well. Until now, you start now realizing that, I'm a lady, I need to do this, I need to use this, they say this is good, then you end up fucking up your own skin. I always question myself. Acne. Just wake up, you have acne one day. I think it's us who are messing up with our skins. to this point where we have people who have acne. And it's always black people most of the time, sorry to say. Right now, majority of the people who have acne, it's black women, especially. Women, to be specific. Women. And I see Danny is saying that the German style of education, the German style education system was set up to produce better workers, not better mathematics, science, engineers, philosophers, and thinkers. I agree. Slaves. Slaves. That is what Katie was teaching you yesterday. Slaves. Slavery. Different types of slavery. That is what we're taught. That is what we are taught. And just saying that that's why education system is all over the world, partially in the West, and has been watered down. Exactly. And you're also saying, kid, that because Africans are impoverished, and that means you will suffer in education. Until when? Because it's not adding up. How I'm the same person. If I came back, if I'm part of the ancestors, because I believe I'm part of the ancestors, maybe I just came back in a different body and everything. But if I'm the same person who educated these people to wash their ass, how am I illiterate? I need to reverse that education. And if you claim literally African people are waking up, we're really waking up. People are really waking up. And this education is not going to remain the same anymore. They're not going to keep on torturing us with their lies, brutally killing our minds and making us look stupid and illiterate like they claim, and telling us 8%, 8 out of 10 people. It's not just South Africa, because they're talking about Africa in general. If you come to Africa, again, most of us are called illiterate. Where did the illiteracy come from? That is my biggest question. We're the smartest people in the world, then all of a sudden we're illiterate, we can't reason anymore. They did the damage. They did. It's going to be all reversed. And also, Keith, you're saying that not the Asians, but you speak English the same way they speak French, Jovi. And just saying that, yes, we understand you. The British English is like the American English. David Brown, karibu sana. I see you in the building, and welcome to the building on today's chat. Karibu sana, Keith.
That's something sana there, Jovi.
Yes, you have something to say. Say it.
Yeah. Talking your shit. Anyway, if you don't understand, Jovi, we're a conquered people. We are conquered people. When the people are conquered, the educational system that they had is destroyed. And I take the babies and I miseducate the children. They become the adults and they miseducate their children, and their children miseducate their children. That's how you got illiteracy. So you are now severed from being what you were thousands of years ago and teaching the rest of the world. You ain't know none of that. You don't know your original teachers no more. All that's severed, Jovi. You ain't know that history. So that's where the African finds themselves as. They find themselves with self-hate, not knowing themselves, scared to go against anybody. They're childlike in the head of what you got. And even the leaders know they consider children. We're not going to be considered children anymore with the white people. That's because they made them think the facts. White people have taken African society and making them children. Like, I know I hate using Katie's parents as an example. Katie's parents are children in the mind, Jovi. They're childlike. And you think an adult talking to Katie's parents, a white person not going to manipulate them. They're children in the head. And that's what the European has done to African people. So you can't say, how we not like our ancestors and knowing everything. You don't know everything. You were conquered.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But
go ahead, Joe.
The audacity of them calling us illiterate, and of course they're not going to admit they made us illiterate. Like you said, they conquered us. They conquered the education, the knowledge, and everything. But you can't call us illiterate on something you did on purpose. You know,
Of course
because
not.
it's
You're
not
still little.
just in one
Job, if
country.
I'm not gonna treat you right, I'm not gonna teach you right. I'm not gonna treat you right. I'm not gonna teach you right. I'm not gonna treat you. I'm not gonna teach you to overthrow me. My whole thing is to make sure you're illiterate. I'm still gonna say, yeah, you're illiterate. I'm not gonna say it's my fault that you're illiterate. I plan to
Like,
keep you illiterate. I plan to keep you backwards. And I plan to
exactly.
write about it. I plan to blame you for your own literacy levels, even though it's my fault. Look at these dumbass niggas. They can't even read it right by the time they're 10 years old. And so since I put a fake black government in South Africa and say, oh, it's the pandemic. How the pandemic got to do with 10 years of people not being able to read it right? You know, that sounds stupid. So I make you look stupid too, because I know that I have not allowed you to educate the African people, because the African people, you go out there in Kenya, Ghana, when you start knowing, you say, wow, everybody's fucking stupid. Yeah, that's on purpose. And these death spots, you say, why do they say certain things like, we want to get rid of the border? Because it sounds good, Joby. That sounds good. They don't really want to do that shit. It sounds good. It's like, oh, look at Russo sounding so presidential. I want to get rid of the borders. We know what they say. Nigga, you better not ever remove none of them borders. It sounds good to everybody else. I want to remove the borders. And
Yeah.
these white people came in and changed the borders. Joey.
Giving us what?
And in the background, he's hearing, hello? Is this King Charles? Yes, it's me, nigga. You better not. I'm glad you sounded good saying change the border, but you do know, nigga, you're not to change them borders, right? Yes, sir. I know, master. I know.
Giving African people what they want to hear. But man,
Exactly.
I don't know. People just we need to wake up. We need to the wake up is really happening. That's one thing I not really deny. People are really waking up. The youths, you see them especially on TikTok. This is the only I think TikTok has allowed a lot of people to speak a lot of truth. A lot of truth, like a lot than
I'm getting more truth on TikTok than I'm getting on YouTube. I tell you that.
True. That is one thing for sure. Most of the people are giving the real information outside there. But anyways, I get into the main topic of the day. I also talk about Namibia, and this again takes us back to the same decision making as African people, where we can't make decisions independent.
I told you Namibia was going to say yes, because Namibia got what? A big white European population there who practice that behavior. So of course, you niggas are gonna allow here. We a lot of white people live here, and we want to be digging in each other's ass. Understand that?
Exactly, because that is what they say. That is what they say. They're saying that the Namibia Supreme Court yesterday recognized same-sex marriage.
What they say? Okay.
They're saying that Namibia Supreme Court yesterday recognized same-sex marriages contracted abroad, which I think it's not just abroad. The whole country has agreed. They're trying to use the term abroad. The same-sex marriages contracted abroad. Still, you're allowing these people to come back in the continent. If you really did not want this to happen in the country, in your country, you should not even be having people who have contracted themselves from abroad. That is an excuse. Abroad. Whether in the country or not, still it is LGBTQ being practiced and being brought in the continent.
I'm surprised Namibia didn't go quicker. Hell, they right there with South Africa. They were part of South Africa back in the day, and I'm surprised they lasted this long. I know somebody went for, hey nigga, a lot of white people in here want to be sucking each other's penises, want to be digging each other's asses. You know what we want to do. You better go and change that law, nigga.
Let me read this. The Namibia court on yesterday recognized same-sex marriages contracted between citizens abroad between citizens and foreign spouses, and landmark ruling in a country where homosexuality is illegal. And the decision overturned a ruling reached last year by the High Court, which refused to accept same-sex marriages. Concluded.
And the High Court said no. You know what happened? See, it already ruled on it. White people came and said, "Nigga, y'all better change this shit. You better change it, nigga. Exactly. We run these countries. You don't. If people don't know you don't run shit, we run it. We run your gold, your diamonds, you'll do what you're told to do. Because the court already said we're not gonna allow it because that's African tradition. I'm not gonna allow that shit. And a year later already, white people went behind the scenes. You niggas better do what you're told to do. You understand that?
Exactly. That is what exactly Museveni is facing right now. The pressure.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Just say, oh, these people in their customs digging in another man's ass. It's disgusting. All these beautiful women out here. He got the call. Hello? 70. Yes, master, nigga. You better go and change that shit, nigga.
Julius Malema has already told him he's gonna wake up feeling like a woman. So hey,
right. You better change that shit, nigga. You like being in power, right? You don't want to be fucked up with the rest of the people all poor. Now, because you know when we get rid of you, your whole family's going too. Captain Crunch and the rest of these niggas that support you, know they're gonna be out of power. We're gonna get rid of your whole family. You understand that, right, nigga? Yes, master. Then you better get your punk ass out there and say what we tell you to say, nigga. Well, I think we're not going to go. We're going too fast in Uganda, and we don't want to go too fast and not recognize people sucking dick. We don't want to. We're going too fast. Let's take time. Let's slow this down and let's think about it. Yeah. You got that call. You got that call, nigga.
So definitely, as we conclude, definitely, you know what, as if the court had refused, and they're also saying that they have accepted this pressure, definitely, and we're gonna see Uganda. Uganda, it's not yet clear. They have not really clarified if this is going to happen. The anti-gay bill will return to parliament.
He's scared of his people, Joe, right now, because they're anti-against it. Africans, so he's got to maneuver. He can't come out so staunchly against it. Because I already sent his ass a warning. Hey, nigga, you better go ahead. We know your people don't want it, but we're going to, your people are stupid, so we're going to slide it in there, do a little bit of time, but you just don't oppose it. We don't oppose it. You say, no, let's not jump to conclusions yet. Let's be humanitarian. So you don't oppose it, so we're going to slowly start putting it in there with the NGOs that we own. Let's start having a bunch of homosexuals and nice cars and say, don't you want to be gay too? Don't you want big gas? We're going to give you some money. So, and then we'll slowly put it in some Ugandan TV shows with people kissing each other on the TV. They're like, oh, I guess it ain't too bad because we're going to get the children. We don't need you old niggas who don't agree. We're going to respect the children.
Anyway, family, we'll wrap it up there. That has been my topic of the day, rather than the discussion I had for you today. And thank you so much for giving your thoughts on this. Danny Harrison, much appreciated. Keith as well, thank you so much. And of course, to David Brown and the silent listeners, I appreciate you so much.
You'll be with a beautiful African skin, not to use the chemical lotion.
No, it was not. Okay, it was not really my fault. I won't lie to you because I was young. And I remember when I moved in with my stepmom, that is when I got the irritation. So she used to buy me these lotions instead of the Vaseline, the Vaseline, lemon oil. So I used to think it's cool. Like I'm like, hey, I'm on that pubic stage and everything. So hey, I'm becoming a girl. Like, so let me try some cool stuff. Not only knowing what it was going to do to me, I got irritation. Like my forehead used to be used to look so bad. Trust me, my skin used to look, it was pathetic. I used to hate my skin, literally. Every time I used to look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, nah, I'm so disgusted. Why does my forehead have to look like this? Someone told me already I have a forehead looking like a forehead matatu, then you tell me, I don't know what. It used to really irritate me so much. So I'm so glad that I later learned how to take care of my skin, my hair as well. Like I've learned literally everything growing up.
The skin is beautiful now. So you learn chemical products to understand your skin. As long as you keep it hydrated and use just the bare minimum. As an African woman or African person, your skin is beautiful. As long as you learn to take care of it.
Exactly. But anyway, peace, family. See you guys on the Tubonge show. Kamlesh is already here, but Katie is coming with the African Diary. Remember to tune in and show
To
love.
get ready to do
Show
a
up.
show, I'm gonna come and talk my shit. I don't come talk shit.
Yeah, you can join through the stream. You can join through test in case you'll be having any points you wanna give. I'll leave the test page open and you can pop in case the show will be
Okay.
going on and
All
you
right.
can give yourself points as well. But much love, family. Thank you so much once again. It has been a pleasure having you guys right here on the show and see you guys same time, same place tomorrow. But it doesn't end here. We
Come
see
back
you
and join Kate in about 15 minutes, y'all. What's going on, David? What's going on, Dan? Much love, fam.
Much love. See you guys on the Tubonge show.
Hey, long time I've said this. That's all here. Want me know? Let me tell you a little story. Me have a man, we have a woman, we don't know about me. Why me know she, but she don't know me. The body make me happy, do me not only. It's an original side chick song. Me up in a